What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the commentary for tonight. Do me a favor, like button, subscribe button, criticism in the comment section, run over to Twitter, shutdown safety is my username. A lot of Madden 18 footage today, huh? You're going to have to wait a week, exactly a week, actually, as a spoiler alert, to get my Madden 18 breakdowns. But, I've been working on this for other football games, and honestly, as I've said, as a community, we can make games better, but only if we're going to pay attention to every game in the marketplace. So I wanted to run this concept by you. It can be used by Axis, by Canadian Football, by Cal Anderson, by EA Sports, I don't really care. Team-based game planning for pre-game and halftime adjustments has a global impact on your players and allows you as a user to react specifically to things like the score of a game, injuries you had or another team had, or maybe just first half adjustments if you constantly find yourself struggling in one area or another. And while we go back and look at the first one here for defending the run, it's important to note these are not going to be the same every time. These are going to be windows of improvements and disadvantages. So as an example, with the run defense, you're going to get an increase in your tackling, your hit power, but you're going to take that loss on your coverage and your endurance because you're obviously tackling better and hitting harder. Now, you would use this in game planning, maybe against a power back, or if you're trailing in a game and you're worried the team is going to run the ball or run the clock out on you, maybe you lose a lineman or a defensive end that you worry about having to play a little bit differently. Now, obviously, with the run, the opposite to this is the pass, where you're going to have a larger increase in coverage with a larger decrease in tackling and hit power. Now, you're also going to be running in zones and man, so you're going to have that same endurance loss, but this is going to be a good one when you've got that large lead build up and you're worried about the continual deep threats or the Hail Marys. Maybe you've had a wide receiver constantly burn you over the top for a good bit of the game. To me, that's when you would probably look at using this defend the pass. Then there has to be one in the middle, and that's going to be the balanced. You're going to have a modest increase in tackling, modest increase in coverage, random loss on your hit power, and maybe this is for when you're undecided. Maybe you've got that close game. Maybe you've got that tie game where you just don't feel like any real adjustments need to be made based on what happened. And then you've kind of got ones with a little bit more risk and reward. So here's a ball hawk. Big increase in coverage, moderate increase in speed, loss of endurance because of it, and maybe this is against the strong wide receiver set. Maybe this is against the Pro Bowl quarterback. Maybe this is against a team that lost their halfback. So now this injury, they're going to be forced to throw the ball. Right now, we don't have a way to react to that currently in video games. This, to me, would be a great way to start out to do that. And that's where you start to talk, like we talked about in the beginning, with strategy. Now, the other side of this, power hitter. Increasing your tackling, increasing your hit power, but a loss to your speed, a loss to your coverage, a loss to your endurance. This is a great one if you've got that team that has the 2006 Bears. They've got two good running backs you're worried about. Maybe this is a team that just lost their quarterback and they're going to run the ball more. Or maybe they've got a good quarterback but they don't have a good receiving core. They lost their star receiver in the first half. That to me is when this is really going to matter. And obviously I think in any game we have to get a point to where the players matter to do this. But I think Axis Football is working its way there. So I'm working on offense for this as well. But I'd love your guys' input on this. I'd love to know what you think about it. Any suggestions you may have to help me along with it. I appreciate you checking out this video. And I'll be back very shortly with more commentary.